Aloha gamer, today we're going to take a trip down memory lane and talk about Life Force for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Now if you grew up with the NES in the late 80s, there's a good chance you remember this one. A weird, intense, sometimes frustrating shoot 'em up that threw you into space and then straight into the inside of a living alien creature. But here's the thing, Life Force wasn't just another shooter. It was actually part of Konami's Gradius series, and it mixed two different styles of gameplay that made it stand out from almost every other shooter on the NES. And for me personally, this was one of those games that I kept coming back to again and again. So today we're going to talk about the history of Life Force, how it plays, what makes it special, and why it's still one of my favorite NES shooters. My name's Mike, I'm a Hawaiian gamer and a former US Navy Seabee veteran, and now your storyteller in the gaming wasteland, where we explore retro games from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. So strap in pilots, and let's hit the throttle to the gaming wasteland. The reason I know and love this game so much is because we beat it using the Konami Code. Once we got really good at the game, we were even able to beat it without the code, which felt freaking awesome. Growing up, I wasn't really into Gradius because it always felt way too difficult for me, so I was worried that Life Force was going to be the same way, but then my friend Kevin fired it up and handed me the first player controller. He was such a good friend that he always let his guests play as player one. I remember thinking to myself that this game was amazing, especially the power-ups and the levels where you're actually flying inside the alien, whose body's trying to kill you. I also always loved the artwork on the cartridge. As a kid, I would stare at it and think, what is this thing? But my fondest memory of this game was when Kevin and I finally reached the last boss. The creature from the box art, you actually had to listen to the sound effects to know if you were hitting the boss or not, which I thought was really cool. The best part though was escaping the boss before it exploded. You had to dodge all these obstacles while trying to get out in time. That moment always reminded me of the Millennium Falcon escaping the Death Star in Return of the Jedi, weaving through obstacles before everything blew up. It just felt epic. This game's really fun playing co-op, but honestly, I didn't mind playing it by myself either. If you've never played this game before, I highly recommend it because in my opinion, it's one of the best shooters on the NES. In the game, a massive alien lifeform named Zealous begins attacking the planet Lattice. This creature isn't just a ship or a monster, it's basically a giant living organism floating in space. To stop it, two space fighters are launched, Vic Viper and Lord British. These ships are sent directly inside the alien creature to destroy it from within. This is what makes Life Force different from other shooters like Gradius. Instead of only fighting in outer space, several stages take place inside the alien's body, where you encounter things like pulsating organic walls, tentacles, and biological enemies, living defenses trying to destroy you. As you progress through the stages, you fight the creature's biological defenses and eventually reach its central brain/core. Once the core is destroyed, 1. The alien organism begins to self-destruct. 2. You must escape through the tunnels of its body before it explodes. Moments like this are a big reason why Life Force became such a memorable shooter on the NES. But how did this game come to be in the first place? Let's take a look at the history behind it. Life Force was developed and published by Konami, one of the biggest game companies of the 1980s. They were responsible for many legendary NES titles like Castlevania, Contra, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and of course Gradius. The game originally started as an arcade release in 1986 called Salamander.
it up or speed up. Speed up. Speed up. Go up.
When it was brought to the Nintendo Entertainment System, it was renamed Life Force and received several changes compared to the arcade version. The NES release came out in the United States in August 1988 and shortly after in Europe and the United Kingdom in 1989. What made the NES version especially interesting is that Konami changed the power-up system and rebalanced the difficulty, making it a little bit more forgiving than the brutal arcade release. Another key aspect of Life Force is that it's directly tied to the Gradius universe. The game features the iconic Vic Viper ship from Gradius, and in two-player co-op, the second player pilots Lord British. The name Lord British is actually a tribute to Richard Garriott, the creator of the Ultima series. In the game, these two ships are part of the Gradius fleet, sent to destroy the massive alien organism threatening the planet Lattice. One of the coolest parts of the game is the music. The soundtrack was composed by members of Konami's famous Kukeha Club, the internal music team responsible for many of Konami's classic game soundtracks during the NES era. Even today, the music in Life Force is considered some of the best on the NES. Life Force is a shoot-'em-up, sometimes called a shmup, but what makes it unique is that the game constantly switches between two different gameplay styles. Some levels are horizontal shooters, similar to Gradius. Your ship flies from left to right, dodging enemies, bullets, and obstacles. But then the game suddenly switches things up. Other levels become vertical shooters, where your ship moves upward through the stage. That change alone helped keep the gameplay from feeling repetitive. You control the Vic Viper, a fighter ship tasked with destroying an alien life form, threatening the galaxy. And some of the most memorable levels take place inside the alien creature itself. You'll be flying past pulsating walls, strange organic enemies, and massive biological bosses that look like something straight out of a science fiction horror movie. For a Nintendo game released in the 80s, that was pretty wild. Another big feature in Life Force is the power-up systems. Instead of the Gradius power meter, the NES version uses direct power-ups. Enemies drop capsules that give you abilities like speed upgrades, missiles, ripple shots, laser beams, and the incredible useful option satellites, and lastly the force field. Those satellites duplicate your shots and can massively increase your firepower. But here's the catch. If you die, you lose everything. And suddenly the game becomes 10 times harder. Anyone who's ever played Life Force knows exactly what I'm talking about. Trying to recover after losing all your power-ups is brutal. For an NES game released in 1988, Life Force looks fantastic. Konami was really good at squeezing everything they could out of an NES hardware. The alien environments are detailed, colorful, and honestly pretty creepy. The biological levels especially stand out, with walls that look alive and enemies that feel more like parasites than spaceships. And then there's the music. The soundtrack is absolutely legendary among NES fans. Tracks like Poison of Snake and the stage themes are still remembered today because they perfectly match the intense action happening on screen. It's one of those soundtracks that sticks with you long after you turn the game off. Now let's talk about the pros of Life Force. First off, the gameplay variety. Switching between horizontal and vertical stages keep things fresh the entire time. Second, the presentation. The alien environments are memorable and unique. Flying inside a living creature is something that really sticks in your mind. Third, the music. Konami absolutely nailed the soundtrack. It adds tension and excitement to every stage. And finally, the two-player co-op mode. This is where the game really shines. Playing with a friend makes the chaos even more fun. It's one of the best cooperative experiences you can find on the NES. But like most NES games, Life Force isn't perfect. The biggest issue is the difficulty spike after dying. Losing your power-ups can make certain sections incredibly difficult to recover from. Another issue is the slowdown. When too many enemies appear on screen, the NES hardware struggles a little. And finally, some players might find the game a bit short once you learn the stages, but honestly, and even today, it still holds up as one of the best shoot-em-ups on the NES. Life Force is one of those NES games that really shows how creative game developers could be during the 80s. It took the formula from Gradius, added some strange alien horror elements, and mixed horizontal and vertical gameplay in a way that felt really fresh and exciting. And even today, it still holds up as one of the best shoot-em-ups on the NES. Funny story, years later I saw the movie Life Force and thought, this must be about the game, and then I saw a naked alien vampire, and realized definitely not the same thing. Lesson learned, not all retro titles are what you expect. While I was capturing gameplay footage for this video, my son Jaden joined me to try the game out. At first, he wasn't sure if he would like it, but once he got used to how it played, he started having a lot of fun, just like I did when I was a kid. We actually played together and beat the entire game in 2-player co-op, which made it even more special. That moment really reminded me of playing this game with my friend Kevin back in the day. If you have a son or daughter, this is actually a great game to play together. The famous Konami Code helps make the game a little bit more forgiving so you can learn it together, and once you get good enough, you won't even need it anymore. My son and I still need a little bit more practice before we can beat it without the code, but it's been a lot of fun trying. It's funny looking back and remembering when Kevin and I finally beat the game without the code. At that time, it felt like one of the most epic gaming achievements we had as kids. We couldn't wait to tell our friends at school that we actually did it. Those are the kind of memories that make retro gaming so special to me. Before I wrap things up, I just want to give a quick shout out to my members, the Retro Warrior Knights, for supporting the channel. I really appreciate your support in helping keeping this channel going. Mr. Posto, Retro Man Randy Savage, Mike's Gaming Gala, Off-Grid Arcade, and Arcade Chaos. Thank you all for supporting the channel. It truly means a lot. And that wraps up our look at Life Force on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Until next time, take care and remember, gaming is your road to adventure.